I'm going to do a poll.
All right.
Um,
You have to re-put in the announcement because I popped the stream again. Ah! That. I am boiling in here, by the way. I apparently did not take anywhere near enough precaution to cool my PS5 down. I know exactly what just happened and I'm pissed.
what?
I didn't think it was that warm, right? So I'm sat here. I have my window that my PS5 is currently... I've got the Windows PS5 on a windowsill with the window open beside it. And I had one of my windows open slightly, not the entire way. And hadn't had my fan on. Because I thought, you know what, it's not that warm. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be completely fine. Nope. Nope. So I've gone and opened my window, put a fan on, and hopefully this fucking thing won't die on me.
Are you in the lobby?
I am in the lobby, yeah.
Okay, just start the stream up and then I'll send it out.
Yeah, I've already done all those things. You should have a share screen up so you can join. The screen should be up.
Definitely let me have a quick look then.
We've got 7 in the stream already, so it should definitely be up.
Okay.
I love how you say option 2 wins as if no option 1 currently doesn't have the most.
What? Option 1 doesn't have the most?
It did. Someone put it's 8-8 now. Because, you know.
Oh shit, let me delete option 2 then. Wins then. What?
No,
Who wins now?
Now it's 9-7 now. Apparently they don't even know what they want.
Well, I'm not surprised.
I feel unbelievable.
Right, let's just check on this stream. I think we are back up and running. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay, guys, welcome back. We had some technical difficulties. We've had to reset the lobby. So what we are going to do is we are restarting the grid on lap 17, I think it is. We've got 18 laps left of the race. Well, we basically told them, what do you want to do? Do you want to restart the entire race, or do you want to start from this lap that we were just on and everyone gets a free tyre choice? We're going to cancel out the tyre rules because of what's happened, and just this option won by 2 votes. So we are just getting everyone in the lobby. It looks like everyone's in, and they're gonna set up the cars again and we'll get going. But this is a huge spanner in the works for pretty much everyone. Really has equalized everything. I know a lot of guys aren't very happy because they had strategies that were working for them. Really helped some of the guys who were all the way at the back. But yeah, it's going to be a shootout for the rest of the race. Basically, potentially no one needs to do a pit stop. It wasn't my internet, Owen, just to point it out. It was actually Pyro's PS5 that died.
Yeah, it wasn't anyone's internet. There was no
It
internet
wasn't me
failures
this
here.
time, I promise.
There was no internet failures here. My PS5 played it and simply overheated. And that is me being a fucking clown, and that's the nicest way of putting it. So yes, feel free to clown me for the rest of the week. Yeah, basically, I'm aware that my room is an absolute sauna. Permanently.
Yeah. Pyro's not hosting again.
I didn't set up enough precautions to take away the heat. So it's entirely on me. It's entirely on me.
Hold on.
I love how nobody can decide what the hell they're doing. The majority wants to do restart race with relaxed remaining fuel, full fuel, and I can't read what else. It should be, yeah, it should be full fuel.
Yeah.
Okay? So I can see what's going on here. Yeah, default fuel, 2 times 2 times. 218. Yeah, once again, God, I feel bad about that.
Oh, well, you know what? Remember when Max Verstappen was doing some eSports and he had a massive meltdown because the lobbies kept crashing? Feels a little bit reminiscent of that.
It's not his internet, trust me. It wasn't his internet. I don't defend Ross a lot of times, but I will do here. No, this one is entirely.
Yeah, this isn't my
fault.
internet. I have absolutely nothing to do with this. I didn't go in the lobby because I know my internet's not very good. See, I hope
PS5
BX
get a
can
chance to
set
cool
them up.
down. Fucking hope so. The only difference is this time, if my PS5 hasn't had the chance to cool down, it will just cut me out. Ross will just then load up the stream, and then I will just join the share play, share screen when I get back in. That's the only thing that will change. Instead of, cutting the entire lobby out. I'm happy everyone else has joined. Oh god. Why is it so fucking
Okay, I
long?
need to find the need to go through the stream and tell BX what the order was before the stream
Viking
crashed.
Perry, Viking Perry, Javi, BX. That's your top 4.
So Viking, Perry, third was BX, fourth Javi, fifth Mortal,
Or was it Javi? It was,
sixth Hammers, seventh Peachy, eighth Pumpkin. Right, now I need to go back a little bit. Ninth Andrew, 10th Wesley, 11th Genrick, 12th Street Fighter,
Did you put it back?
13th Slim, 14th Snipes, 15th CO2.
Yeah. Absolutely incredible. I straight up apologize for that. Yeah. If I get flamed, I get flamed. That's as simple as that at this point. Great way to start the eSports season with my PS5
Well,
dying.
they're all currently in the chat for the rest of you guys.
If you want to
Having little arguments about how much fuel to restart with. I've already said it's 100% fuel. I think people are trying to negotiate, thinking it's a negotiation, but it's not.
Have you put the stream into announcements so we can go back to where we were?
That is the last thing that I need to do, and then we can relax.
And wait for everyone to ready back up, put their Aero values in, and bully me for the next 10 minutes. Most of the
well, actually, there's been a development. They want to redo the whole race.
We're not re-racing.
No, well, we made the decision before that. Like.
Yeah, we are not re-racing. It would take us till God 10:30. We will be here forever. And there is no way we are re-racing this. Finally, this whole sleepy shtick will be gone. Nope, that never going. Oh, you've dug your own grave with that one. Things don't die unless a more embarrassing thing comes along. This is how this works. Come on. The funny thing, I guess the funniest thing about all of this is that I have unintentionally screwed my own team.
Yeah, they were on for a completely different strategy there, but they did have quite a lead. It was shaping up to be really interesting between Javi and Viking at the end. I think it would have been definitely between those two for the win, depending on what would have happened with the tyres. There was a 20-second gap between them, and Viking had to pit and put some fuel in. But now they're going to have to just do a basically sprint to the finish, 19 laps until the end.
Yeah, no comment. Who are we waiting on? We need to make a rule for this next time. I mean, there isn't going to be a next time. But, if it happens, I can't believe my PS5 died. I've only seen it do that on F1. It has never done that on GT. Which is concerning. Extremely concerning. Yeah.
Yeah, we need everyone to enter now. Oh, I need my... There we go. I was going to start typing in the chat, but I actually can't do that because I'm on share screen.
There's no way you would. Incredible. Incredible. Andrew, can you enter, please? We're waiting on you.
They're trying to sort out starting grid positions. I tried to get the positions off stream, and people are saying that's not right. So I was like, well... For some reason, Slim's got on his screen that he was 10th and Mortal was 11th, but Mortal was definitely in P5, so I don't know what was going on with Slim's... Are
we doing it from the end of lap 18, I'm assuming?
16 was the last lap that everyone was on. Usually with a red flag, in real life, they go from the last completed sector that everyone's completed. Yeah. So we were on lap 16, so we should restart on lap 16, technically. If we're going along the lines of that, and since we've never had to do this before, that's what I've decided.
Pyro talking from a different... I'm confused. Is my mic too far away now, or or is it too close?
No, you sound fine to me. Maybe they just want more of you, Pyro.
Said no one ever. Pyro fell down a well. How is it better? Is it better now?
Yeah, you're fine. I don't know what they're talking about. Or maybe it sounds different on stream, I don't know.
I'm so confused.
Oh,
I'm so
man.
Don't.
Right.
I hate people. I hate people. That's what I'm learning. I also hate my PS5, but that's besides that's a different topic. That sounds right, Pyro. That better?
Yeah. Well, you sound exactly the same to me.
I'm confused. Hold on.
Just scream like you normally do, and it'll sound normal for them. Right, looks like we're going again fairly soon, guys. Anyway, so yeah, so it's going to be another grid start. No, it's a rolling start actually. So it's going to give a few of these guys at the front a little bit of an advantage. They did not quite as much of an advantage that they had. To be honest, I'm expecting no pit stops. I'm expecting everyone to be on soft tires till the end. I think soft tires should be able to run 19 laps. Some of the guys were saying that they can't do that, but they're going to have to try and do a little bit of tire management in that case.
Just good luck at this point. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it.
Right, we're starting soon, guys, so stop typing in the chat and start looking at your TVs, because we're about to get going.
Oh, God. Perry's trying to get a grid start. No. You've got to do a rolling starter here.
I know.
No, I feel like I
feel like I need to be doing commentary all the time just for when this stuff starts happening and they all start demanding different things. This is what happens in an eSport league. They've all got their agendas, I suppose. They're all fighting for their own corner.
they've got their own. Yeah, they've all got their own agendas and everything.
Right, we've got 7 seconds until the final start. It says this is going to be the final start, hopefully, of the night.
BX's PS5 died now as well.
No. Right, rolling start. So, just a reminder of the orders. We've got Viking in P1, Perry P2, BX Baroil in P3, so Project Platypus 1, 2, 3. Javi is in 4th, Just Mortal is in 5th, Hammer's 6th, Peachy 7th, and Pumpkin Patch for Pegasus is the highest Pegasus driver in P8.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got a couple of interesting strategies for them.
So some people are on the mediums, actually.
Yeah, we're going. Some people
including Viking Dog.
That's the issue. It's just about too long for every single one of these cars to get to the end. So let's go.
Well, let's have a look at the McLarens. I bet the McLarens can get to the end on the softs.
Oh, comfortably. So should realistically the Mazda. Those two cars, the cars shouldn't have any issues. Let's see if we've got any sort of battles forming down the grid here.
Oh, everyone's got around pretty nicely. It looks like Javi is putting a lot of pressure on BX already.
Yeah, Immortal also under fire from...
Has hammers all over the back of him, yeah.
Yeah, oh, here comes Javi down the inside of BX! To the inside, it's not going to work!
Such a difficult corner to try and overtake there, but they both make it through safely. BX already holding up a lot of these guys. Is BX on mediums?
BX is not. He's on soft.
No, he's on soft. So just a bad start from BX here. And now Javi's got a run on him, definitely. He's had to tuck in behind him again. Really difficult to get an overtake done into this hairpin. BX going very defensive there into the hairpin. And that's opened the door for Mortal to try and stick his nose in on Javi, but he slots in just behind on the exit of the hairpin there.
Peachy and Pumpkin coming on the exit as well. And we'll see if Pumpkin's got something against the RX driver. It doesn't look like he is. If anything, he's now come under fire a little bit from Wedley, who has currently sat himself in 9th. Yeah, he's got 19 laps on this race after the restart. Definitely not caused issues whatsoever with this race. Here comes Peachy, who's going after Hammers.
Peachy has a good run on Hammers right now. On the soft tyres as well is Peachy. Managed to make them last a very, very long time after pitting early in the first stint of this race, before the red flag, we'll call it. So we know he's got good ability to look after his tyres. But at the moment, it's still Project Platypus 1, 2, 3, Javi 4th and Mortal 5th. So no change in the top 5 there since we've restarted the race.
There is a change here. There's a couple of interesting things going on here. Something's just happened. I think it's Slim and Pumpkin. There is. They're both off the
we don't
track,
have a good camera angle here. They're both battling each other, and they're down in 13th and 14th right now.
I think they collided and went off the track.
Yeah.
I think it was between the two, so you can probably notch up yet another stewards report going on there.
And CO2, who was a distant 15th, is now all the way up to 10th. So he's had a fantastic start here.
He's going to take that and run.
Yeah, he's got to defend it now. That's the problem.
They've got a few battles still in the mid-pack, the front of the grid. Viking and Perry starting to build a little bit of a gap, and I think this was the ploy all along. Viking and Perry need the gap, especially from Javi. So BX is now just playing a sacrificial lamb. Realistically, Peachy looking at the inside, not going to get past Mortal into the second of the Deckners. Is still going
BX and Javi side by side going into the hairpin again. BX again defends the inside of the hairpin, so Javi can't stick a nose in, but he goes really wide on the exit there. Javi might have a little run. It looked like he got a better exit out of the hairpin. He's going to have to try and do something to get past him soon if he wants to win this race, Javi.
Yeah, Hammer's also having an absolute blinder at the start as well. Off in fifth, he's cleared Mortal as well now, as he is on the back of Javi and BX, and this is not good news, because if you've got M6 right on the back of you, then M6 is usually pretty good.
Yeah, this is definitely Hammer's strongest ever race at ALR since he's joined. He's struggled to get top half results, and he's in P6, P5
Here we go,
right
side
now.
by side, Javi and BX.
Oh, are they both going to stay on the road? It looks like BX goes a little bit wide. He's losing it. He's going in the wall. No.
BX is in the wall.
It's over for BX. He's down in P9. He's going to drop outside the top 10, and he's going to have to do a recovery drive for the remaining 17 laps here. I wonder if there was any contact between Javi and BX to cause that, or if he just went too wide trying to defend there. But anyway, we've got Mortal trying to get an overtake done on Wesley, who's all of a sudden in P5. So I don't know where Wesley's come from to get this high up. And Peachy just behind Mortal as well.
Yeah, Mortal's just not had a good restart. That's for certain. But yeah, no, there was no contact whatsoever there. BX had the inside line and just completely overshot it trying to defend. And oh, that's just a mistake you make when you choose a Ferrari, I guess. And then don't have enough time to practice on it either.
Yeah, Mortal is on the mediums here, so I'm guessing he's losing time mainly because of that. I don't know if he was on the mediums when we stopped. I think he might have been on the softs, to be honest. So this might be the first time he's running the mediums tonight. Yeah. And Wesley just driving away from him now.
Oh, Mortal again just getting a little bit sketchy, this time on the second Deckner, and I don't think a lot that happened there in the background as well. Gemrick also getting a bit sketchy there on the AstroTurf on the outside. The AstroTurf on GT.
Yep, coming under a lot of pressure from CO2 now.
CO2 tried a little bit of traction on the outside there, on the inside, sorry, the hairpin.
Very aggressive on the exit, yeah. Also, got to point out, ESP have had a fantastic restart here. CO2 managing to get up to P9. It's going to become P8 around Spoon, which with a very rude overtake there on Jedrick. That was not very clean.
Snipes got through as well, and I think we've just seen a textbook push to pass. I'm not entirely sure.
So we've got ESP. ESP are in P8, P4, and P5, and they were pretty much not in contention to be scoring big points as a team before the red flag. So I think you could safely say things going very, very well for ESP on this restart. Now, can they keep it for the rest of the lap and potentially in the stewards room as well after the race? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah,
the one thing that hasn't gone too well is definitely for, I guess you would have to put V2 as the worst affected at the end of this. Mortal just tumbled down the list. Snipes, I guess, had a second chance after his mistake earlier on. He looks to be trying to assess that second chance really nicely, and Jevrick's off the track now.
Really wide there. That's going to open the door for Slim, who's on a bit of a recovery drive. Remember, we saw him really low down and we didn't understand quite what happened to him. On his screen it actually showed he was in P10, and on the actual stream and other drivers, he was actually lower down than that. So he needs to salvage something from his race, does Slim, because we know he's one of the quickest guys on this track, and he's finding it very difficult to get past Genric, who's got those dirty tyres after going off at the beginning of the lap.
Oh, I think Slim could have gone for that, you know, up the hill. He definitely, if he realised that Genric had screwed up the corner, he definitely would have. But now he's just stuck, and he's got a Pegasus car on either side of him. The 12th, in 11th and 13th right now. The Germans against the Thin. Up the further up the grid, Amru is starting to make his way towards his teammate, see if he can hit his teammate to potentially move up the grid. But yeah, there's a lot of things that changed. BX currently rear the gap with Pumpkin. Bearing in mind, Pumpkin and I think it was Slim actually, Pumpkin and Slim, that had the incident in the first lap upon the restart. Street Fighter also hasn't had a great time of a restart here either.
Still all over the back of Genric, though. I think it's just a matter of time before Slim gets past him. He's costing him a bit of time now. You can see the two drivers ahead, MT Snipes and the other driver ahead of him, starting to pull away a little bit from Genric.
Yeah, and here comes Slim down the inside. Is he going to make this one stick? We saw the X's line here last time, and it's not the same line this time.
Interrupt you because Perry is the leader of the race right now. Something's happened to Viking. He's dropped a second behind Perry. Is Perry on softs?
Perry is on softs, and I think this is more of a
So Perry must have the pace at the moment. Viking's dropped behind him for now, and now Viking and Javi are going to be having the battle that we were expecting to see at the end of the race, but it's going to happen right now because there's 0.3 of a second separating them both. Is Javi on the softs as well?
Javi is on the softs, yeah.
So Javi has the tyre advantage, and Viking is going to be doing all that he can to play the team game here. Maybe let Perry build up a bit of a lead whilst Perry's tyres are the optimum tyres before the last few laps of the race, when he'll probably start getting reeled in. But if Viking can keep Javi behind and make Javi use up a lot of his tyre life trying to battle him and put him out of positions in all these corners, this could really result in a win here for Project Platypus. But if Javi can get past Viking, then I think it's going to be very, very difficult for the Project Platypus guys to keep hold of the win here.
Yeah, but Viking's doing a very good job as they go through the second sector here. It's Suzuka. And bear in mind that Viking's on the medium tire, the other two are on softs, and at the end of the day, that doesn't mean Viking will get overtaken at some point. The Mazda's tires won't go off between now and the end of the race either, so it's essentially Viking's a sitting duck, if you want to go that kind of...
He is, but he does have that engine of the Corvette behind him. So as long as he can get good exits from the corner, it's going to be super difficult for Javi to take advantage. They're both trying different lines around 130R. Viking goes wide, and he actually is still ahead of Javi going into the braking zone. He hasn't given it up, despite going off track, and he keeps P2 for now, and Javi's going to have to try a move down into turn 1 on the 6th lap of the restart.
Can I just say, what Viking is doing here? So Perry's driving off at the moment. Viking is somehow holding Javi up. There's two ESP drivers behind right now who are absolutely loving this scenario. They are catching up.
They're not falling behind.
Quickly.
Javi's got the inside line, and Viking doesn't have the strength in his tyres to fight any further. Javi's got P2, and he's only 2.6 seconds behind Perry now. So Perry has to put in the shift of his life if he's going to stay ahead of Javi for the next 13 laps. I can count. And he's purple despite the overtake as well.
Yeah, to answer your question, Iggy, the Corvette's tyres cannot, the Mazda's tyres can. The Merc tyres are somewhere in between, so take your pick. Apparently, Viking is struggling to do 60 in terms of tyres on the soft, so he's on the mediums and trying to go all the way to the end, trying to hang on for dear life. He's currently being hounded now by two ESP drivers.
Yeah, Hammers and Wesley very, very close behind. Wesley really has impressed me. I need to scroll back through the chat and see what actually was his starting grid position, because I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm sure it was quite low.
To answer the tyre rule question, yes, it's 3 tyres for the rest of the race, I believe. And quite frankly, it would be way too much to go through the stream and figure out who hadn't done everything.
Yeah. So Wesley started 10th, and now he's all the way up to 5th, and he got up to 5th incredibly quickly on those opening 2 laps.
Yeah.
He overtook Mortal, BX, who had the spin. He's stayed behind Hammers. He's overtook Pumpkin, Andrew. Yeah, and that's it. And that's how he's up into 5th.
So basically, 3 of those positions have come as a result of crashes because Slim and Pumpkin were 2 of those.
Yeah.
Obviously, BX crash also nailed 1 in the coffin there as well. Wedley currently 1.7 seconds behind his teammate, who is closing down Viking like it's going out of fashion. Yeah.
So Capel's complained about the tyre rule here because we've let everyone change tyres, saying that the immersion's ruined. Well, I'd like to point out that the FIA have accepted that their tyre rules are not fit for purpose at the moment. So we've gone for something that I think is better than what the FIA rules are. So if the FIA change the rules like they said they're going to, and all of a sudden it's to the same rules that we've got, basically tyre rules out the window, you know that they've been watching the stream, basically.
Also, Pegasus are not going to be too happy with me. They're just not going to be too happy with me. I think we can say this now. 15th, 14th, and 12th. It has not been a nice restart to those 3 drivers at all. BX starting to make
No, it's been rough. But at the end of the day, there's still quite a long way to go, and we saw them make good progress through the grid. I think some of these drivers are going to be running on completely red soft tyres at the end of the race, and I'm not sure they'll be able to keep it on track, to be honest. So there's going to be opportunities for everyone to finish in the top 10 still, I reckon.
Oh yeah, there's still going to be a lot of interesting scenarios that could come about from this. I'm quite surprised that even on the medium tyre that Hammers and Wedley are going after Viking so aggressively. I expected Viking to have a bit more pace than he currently does. Yeah, it's just going to be one of those where Viking is now defending for a dear life onto this podium. The real question is, if you're ESP, I'm sure that they're all in their own group chat right now. Are you just going to let Hammers go for this, or is there a point where you switch and let Wedley go? Because Wedley, in theory, is the quicker driver.
Yeah, but Hammers is right on the back of Viking, which is something I never thought I'd ever say in ALR. So I don't think there's going to be any team orders for now, because Hammers might actually get past Viking. And what's going to be important for Viking is, obviously at the moment the softs are the preferable tyre for the cars at the moment. But Hammers is probably on maybe 70% won on that front right already. So if he's going to be going to the end of the race, he is not really going to be a threat for the podium, I don't think, even if he overtakes Viking.
It's going to be one of those where it's how well can the people on the softs handle those softs, because they will go off, maybe not for the Mazdas, and certainly not for the one McLaren we have currently on the grid. But maybe there's
only one McLaren tonight.
Bloody hell. So I'm 90% sure it's just night. But yeah, it's going to be one of those where your Mercs, your BMWs, the tyres are going to start falling off drastically at the end. Maybe a couple of laps on the red if you don't have good tyre wear. So there is a chance that this starts to fall back to the medium tyres, but I don't think it's a big one. As we currently watch these guys come out Spoon Curve, Viking again just having enough of a gap on Hammers in that Merc to do something about it, and the Corvette straight line speed is going to hang Viking on the podium at this point in time. Again, just a little bit deep from some of these guys coming out of 130R, and that we've seen it hamper a couple of drivers already in this restart.
Yeah, and Vikings dropped 6 seconds behind Perry now. Another thing that I never ever thought that I'd say, but this eSports series is bringing out some unreal pace from some of these drivers, being able to pick any car that they want instead of the car that gets allocated to them at the beginning of the season like they have on Mondays.
Yeah,
CO2 there's a big train behind him. Yeah, he's got past Mortal, he's up to P7. Where is the pace come from for CO2?
Slim versus Andrew behind.
Yep, Slim up to P9 now. If he can hold it in round turn 1, he does. Great little overtake there for Slim as he continues his comeback. He's on the soft tyres as well in that Mazda. They are expected to be able to go to the end. well, they were meant to do more tires on these, more laps on these soft tires before the red flag. So I think these guys will be capable of nursing the tires, especially on the Mazda on wheel as well.
Oh yeah, comfortably.
What is the gap at the front at the moment? What's Javi done?
Currently 2.2.
2.2.
In the process of about 2-ish laps, he's gained about 0.4 of a second on Perry. And the tires, surprisingly, not too dissimilar on those cars.
Yeah, and Perry really holding his own there as well. Usually, I think it would be safe to say that Javi would be at least 0.6 of a lap quicker than Perry in Monday rules.
Yeah, you'd think so, and maybe the Aero is starting to balance that out just a little bit. If you know what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe...
A big key to this series is putting in the work and understanding what aero suits you in the car before the race starts, because that can gain you so much time. And I don't know what people have decided in terms of aero, or if they're just Viking goes very wide again. Every single lap he's going wide, but he keeps the position. It actually doesn't lose him any time, I've noticed. But Hammers is all over the back of him, less than 0.2 of a second behind him now.
As I say, I haven't lost him any time. There is definitely a giant M6 that's just
yeah.
running down the back of him now. Wedley
such a
also
fat car compared to that Corvette as well.
Yeah, Wedley went off the track in the same vein as Viking did, also into that final corner. Viking again. How has he kept that car on the track is unreal. A little bit of ghost traction on the pad maybe, because that looked like he was one, maybe two wheels on the AstroTurf at the very least.
Yeah, Hammer's not giving him an inch to breathe actually, and that's probably forcing these kind of micro mistakes out of Viking.
Yeah, Viking is not doing what we would expect Viking to be doing. Albeit everyone around him is on soft tires compared to his mediums.
Yeah.
But for now, Viking is under.
Viking's the big loser out of the restart. It looks like he had a huge lead over Javi, 20 seconds, and now he's 6 seconds behind, 8 seconds off the lead. But there's a long way to go. 9 laps actually.
Yeah, we've still got the thing here going down the hill. We've got a few people trying to fight it for 10th, for 9th even. BX
yeah, it looks like
here.
Slim's got a bit of a...
also, Pumpkin's starting to work his way back through.
Yep. Oh, Pumpkin's doing a little bump there, and he's going to get through by the looks of things.
He's not.
Slim has good traction on exit.
Yeah.
And BX might follow him through as well and get a cheeky position. And BX back into the top 10 after we saw him clatter the wall earlier on.
BX was the key to potentially winning here for Perry and Viking. When he crashed out, it gave a large opportunity to Eric Tavi, and well, that opportunity is still there for him, not quite realised just as yet. CO2 must have made a mistake, by the way. He dropped all the way down to 12th tonight.
Oh, what a shame for him. He was doing so good. Just needs to find a bit of consistency, this driver.
Yeah. ESP definitely benefited off the restart. BX has apparently forgotten where the line is there, as he goes off the track again and almost had a major repeat of the first lap on the restart.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's the new optimal racing line. He's coming under a bit of pressure now because of that.
I'm not entirely sure what happened here, but Wesley is up into third.
Whoa! Okay. Oh, I wish we could rewind. I want to see what happened. Wesley's up into P3, Viking's down into P5, so that must mean Viking and Hammers must have had a little coming together, and Wesley's just gone through both of them. And now, from starting in P10, remember, for the restart, Wesley's up to third.
One thing's for sure, ESP can't be mad at me.
No, I wonder what they voted for. I'm going to go check. I'm going to see if they voted for like a whole race restart.
Oh, there goes Wesley! Wesley's off the track and he's been put by his teammate!
He's been put off by his teammate as well, and Viking all of a sudden is back up into P3.
And through goes Viking! How has that happened?
That is crazy.
Wesley got up to P3.
I've never seen a teammate do that to another teammate.
Wesley got up to P3, went into the gravel, tried to re-enter the track and got hit by his teammate. This is not Hammer's fault.
Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly moment.
It's not Hammer's fault that by any means. Wesley is sideways on the track. There's nothing Hammers could do to avoid that. I am not entirely sure how Wesley has managed this, but he has managed this and he's back down to 5th.
Viking must be laughing right now at his fortune. Like, he'll have gone from being furious at dropping all the way down to P5. Now he's got a perfect opportunity. But meanwhile, at the front, Javi is only 8 tenths behind Perry. Now he's really put the hammer down these last couple laps. 58.4 is the fastest lap, and he set that on the previous lap. Perry is not setting laps in the 58s.
Quite frankly, Perry doesn't stand a chance here.
Can he hold him off for 6 more laps?
No.
Or maybe 7, actually.
Bearing in mind, we are talking about Perry, who's not had the greatest times in Tier 2 as of recently, and the reigning, defending, undisputed champion of the entire server. Perry
got that Tier 4 title once.
No hope. Yeah, Perry might be better, but Javi is just a better driver.
I think they talk about tyres there, yeah.
Yeah, they may be similar on the tyres, but then there's come down to skill level, and I don't think Perry can hold Javi. I think.
Well, you say that, but he's not put a foot wrong all race, Perry, and you can't say that about pretty much any other driver. So he just needs to continue doing. Oh, we got another battle for P3 here between Hammers and Viking.
No AstroTurf and gravel this time.
Yeah, it's pretty much as you were from a couple of laps ago. The exact same order, the exact same pressure being put on by Hammers.
Also, Perry's opened the gap in the middle sector there, up over a second again. We go back to this battle real quick. It's looking.
You know, whichever battle we choose, there's going to be something happening in the other one.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. There's also a battle for P10 that's just been completely neglected as a result of this.
Yeah, BX up to P8 now. Andrew's still in P7, so he's having a really good restart.
Yeah, Viking just going a lot.
The highest V2 guy, actually.
You see the softs are starting to die, but unfortunately for Viking, so is his mediums.
Viking's mediums are pretty much dying at the same rate, which is horrendous for him.
And here comes Hammers. Is he going to be able to get close enough by the time we hit 130R?
Let's see, Viking do his famous alternative line through 130R.
Yes.
Yep,
yes,
there he is. Oh,
he
nearly.
So will Wesley.
Yeah, Wesley's just
And Hammers is not able to get by through the chicane, but again, once again, Viking and Wesley decide that the track is not a good idea to be on the outside.
Wesley's got to run on Hammers now. So this, I would love to know what's happening in the group chat now. Is Hammers going to let him through? It looks like he's going defensive, actually.
He's not. Here comes the...
Maybe they're not in a group chat.
Oh, they absolutely are in a group chat, but Hammers is not letting him go. He's not letting Viking go either. So at this point, it might just be the order of just race each other. Whatever happens, happens. Which is not the smartest
Well,
way
it didn't work so
this.
well a couple of laps ago. So, I wouldn't be doing that strategy if it was me. But hey, I'm not in their team. They can do whatever they want.
Hammond is just... you can tell Hammond is getting a little bit anxious now. Just looking at every opportunity. If Viking goes left, he goes right. If Viking goes right, he goes left. He's trying to force the door open now is Hammers. And, well,
Hammers under the most pressure out of any of these three drivers because he's got it from above and below. From ahead and behind, I should say.
At the end of the day, he's going to try and go around the outside here. And he's not going to have the traction as we've seen.
Let's have a quick look at the front of the grid. Let's see what Javi's doing. He's still over a second behind, actually.
He's actually getting...
Is Perry faster than Javi?
He's getting gapped ever so slightly here by the American. Project part of
right,
this.
we need to put Perry in tier 1. That's it. If he wins this race, I'm putting him in tier 1.
I love how that's just going to be the threat. Javi is chasing him down.
He's showing his true pace now.
Perry is the godfather of this entire thing, so...
yeah, very true. He has to put in a good result since it was his idea. It's getting misty.
Imagine if it rains at the end. Bear in mind, it's Suzuka, it can rain.
I would love it if it just started pouring down right now. Even though our team, technically, is doing very well here, it would just be funny.
Hammers is dropping off the back of Viking. Viking 8 tenths.
Oh, here comes Wesley.
This is going to be the switch, yeah. And there goes Wesley.
Yeah, you could tell that was an orchestrated one.
And he's lost time, though. It's,
yeah, they're a second behind, but I think they'll catch up fairly quickly.
Yeah. Capel saying Perry's been practicing for an entire month on these settings on this track, which is entirely fair. He definitely has. And Hammond and Wedley are going at it. They're just allowing Viking just to start to disappear. Oh, this might be really good news for Viking, who might just be able to breathe just a little bit.
Yeah, he's actually. Wesley's not managed to close the gap since he overtook Hammers. He actually looks like he's holding Hammers up a little bit.
Well, it's now 6/10 on. It's about the same gap that splits third from fourth.
Yeah, they're starting to gap a little bit. What about up front? It looks pretty close looking at the mini-map.
It's back within a second here for the lead of the race.
Back within a second, so he's managed to close in about 2/10. But that last lap for Javi was a 2-minute.
2 minutes.
You wouldn't expect a 2-minute lap ever from the Tier 1 champion.
Perry actually, I think he has better tyres than Javi.
Yeah, they were saying that in the chat. Definitely, Perry must have been tyre saving early on when he was building his gap, because he hasn't been under pressure, and Javi's had to overtake Viking, obviously. And he was pressuring BX for a while before BX's mistake.
There's a lot that could change here. And it doesn't look like Perry's giving this one up without a fight at the very least. The only issue is when these tyres inevitably wear all the way down.
Yeah, they're going to start flying off track, basically.
The skill is... Will the skill show off there? Javi made a mistake. It's now 1.5, 1.6.
That is crucial for Perry at this stage of the race.
Just tack on another 7/10 of a second that Perry had in the gap. There is a chance here. Wedley got really close to Viking, and they've left Hammers a little bit in the wind now.
Yeah, maybe Hammer's tyres starting to go off a little bit too much on that BMW.
And then you got Peachy in 6th, Hammer in 7th there in no man's land. BX is up in 8th with Slim less than a second away, and once again it's a Project Platypus getting chased down by an Arix driver in here for a position in the race.
But I think both of them should be working together to try and chase down Andrew, because it looks like the gap between them and Andrew's been closing in.
Yeah, Mortal is in 11th after... I'm not entirely sure what the hell he was actually doing in this restart. Pumpkin is in 10th, so... the Pegasus inside the top 10, which is positive. Fighters got up to 12th, nice and
oh, CO2 back. Yeah, well, that's where he was going to finish the first time around, so I guess that's fair.
CO2 has normal service resumed as Perry is again just gaining a little bit there on Arix Javi. When they come out of that hairpin, it's not going everywhere that Javi would want.
Mm-hmm.
The reigning
Absolutely.
champion versus Perry of Tier 2 here.
They seem perfectly matched pace-wise at the moment, and that's horrible news for Javi. Javi's the one that's actually making the mistakes as well.
And you look at the end of the day, the Aero's just balanced it out just a little bit more. If you can get it right, you get it right, and it'll save you a lot of time. Viking 7/10 ahead of Wesley now. Looks like Hammers has joined back onto the train that Viking has had for the last decade and a half.
Yeah, Hammer's on the back of Wesley as well, so Wesley's had a little bit of an error at some point.
Slim is right up on the back of BX now.
BX's rear tyres are nearly dead. That is horrendous news, because you don't want your rear tyres to die. That's when you start spinning. You need a little bit of traction on the rear, even if you've not got anything on the front.
Yeah, it's 1.8 now at the front of the grid. 1.9 is
1.9.
Perry opening it back up. There is a chance here that Perry might win the first race in history here at the eSports League.
I don't think any single person in the league, probably not even Perry, would have had him down for winning this race. This is insane pace that I don't think we've ever seen from Perry.
Ross has just unlocked a new insult when he's talking to Perry.
What's that?
Perry doesn't have the pace on a Monday. He's just going to be bringing up his Friday pace for the rest of eternity.
Well, you know what? Like, teammate battles, as long as I keep beating Perry this season, that means that, in theory, I'm better than all these drivers as well.
That is not how that works. That is not how that works. That is not how that works. Oh, God. Viking is still hanging on against Wedley, and Hammers, who's really close now, and we actually, for the first time, see Arix Peachy show up in the background of this fight. Yeah,
Peachy's been just quietly plodding along and setting some good laps. You can see Slim is up into P8 now, so BX must have lost that battle with Arix Slim.
Lost it comfortably.
Yeah, and he's behind. Yeah, he's 2.4 seconds behind. Maybe a problem with his tyres. starting to go off massively, and obviously must have had a little mistake in the first half of the lap.
Yeah, Pumpkin's chasing him down now, by the way. That time's starting to fade away. CO2 has a penalty.
Someone's got a penalty. Who was that? Oh, CO2. Okay. I thought it was someone at the front.
The gap is 2 seconds now.
2 seconds. It hasn't been 2 seconds for a very long time. One thing to point out as well with Viking. Viking's in the Corvette. Obviously, we know how good the Corvette is at acceleration, and then that is a big reason why he's managed to keep the 2 drivers behind him, despite having the tyre disadvantage. This is something that if you've raced in a Corvette, you infuriate other drivers, because even though they've got the pace on you, they just can't get past. And this could be a key asset to Viking this season, because he's the only one in a Corvette in the whole league, and he's proving its worth right now. Even though he's not got the pace at this stage, he's still odds-on favourite to get the podium, especially now the tyres are going off.
Wow. And yeah, no, the tyres going off is huge. And obviously, we've seen some getting the rear tyres damaged more than the fronts, and you see it on Perry's car as well, that the rears are just starting to fall off here at Suzuka.
That's definitely a setup thing, because that's an FR car, so the rears should not be going off like that.
Can I just say, the gap has come down from 2 seconds to what we went was 1.5 going into the hairpin. It's now 1.7 coming out the hairpin. Perry is just starting to lose a little bit of ground. He's not
Perry's rear tyre is worse than Javi's. Pretty much equal, actually, on the rear.
Along the way here. Javi's got to find something, because third gear. Like,
yeah, Perry's back up to 2 seconds now, so whatever happened, Perry seems to have the pace. Unlike Viking. What's going on? I've never ever said Viking doesn't have pace, but here we are. He's being chased out by a tier 2 and a tier 3 driver at the end of this race. He's managed to keep them behind so far, but he's still got 2 more laps to do after this one to seal the deal.
This is just turned into how long can Project Platypus hold on everyone else?
Yeah, basically.
That's all this race has evolved into, and I think, to be fair, it was the way that was going in the first place. Here we go again. Viking decided that the track on the outside is where all three
of them actually. I think Wesley and Hammers were just like, yeah, we know that staying on the track here doesn't matter too much, so
they're just following Viking at this point. And can I just say that Peachy is starting to appear in view more often than not.
Yeah, and he's really looked after those soft tyres, Peachy. He's got about half his life left. So don't rule Peachy out for a top 5.
Ben's just asked if Vikings medium tyres are going to go to the end. Looking at those, not very likely. Vikings tyres are going off.
He'll have to do a lap and a half, I reckon, on completely dead front right, but that shouldn't worry him too much. He drove a full season in the Renault, so he knows how to drive on dead tyres.
Oh, track extending 130 hours should be made into a compilation. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh, I've just realised something. Because the stream died, no one will have saved the replay. There won't be any stewards reports for the first half of the race. So all those incidents in lap 1 will go unpunished.
If they were smart enough, they would have saved their replays in terms of
I know, but half of them didn't even know how many drivers they needed for tonight.
I love this. It's just this is just bully ESP, even though the
I'm just making. Well, to be fair, they're clowning me right now because they're doing quite well in this race, but the ones that they decided to show up.
Eric's Javi is 5.5 seconds back, by the way.
Oh wow. Okay.
Javi's spun. Javi's just spun. That's game over. That is absolutely
it is not game over. I'm telling you, it's not game over. The last time Perry won a race was 2 seasons ago.
I was about to say probably when he was in Tier 4 racing me.
No, he won in the Porsche. Remember, because I ran out of fuel.
Yeah,
that was the last time he won.
Can I just say, Javi has done this race so well that he has somehow managed to act like the Scottish in the final game of a European Championship. Lost it right at the end.
I don't know what you're talking about, but yes.
Scotland has conceded a 100th minute goal to Hungary.
Oh, damn.
That's incredible.
He's actually closing in a little bit on Perry, but it's way too little too late.
Perry-
We're on the final lap now. He's
Perry
got 17
also,
second gap to Viking at least, so he's going to wrap up P2, which is valuable points for his team.
Perry's also got fluky with the tyre rules because we got rid of the tyre rule when we restarted. Perry did soft off, technically.
Well, Perry was trying to get all the rules changed in the chat, so he'll be glad that we chose the rules that I just decided, because it's actually worked out quite well for him.
There we go. He's got about 1 sector on this race to go. Realistically, 2 corners that could actually.
Hammer's back ahead of Wesley, by the way.
Yeah, that looks like just a skill thing now. I think they're going for it. All of them going for it, but we're gonna very quickly.
Yeah, let's stick with Perry
because in the first race of ALR eSports in history, it's all coming down to about 3 corners. Can Perry hold his nerve with 130R?
Can he go around 130R? With very worn tyres? He's lifted off massively, and he doesn't go off track, unlike his teammate.
Talk about being safe. Here comes Perry into the final chicane. 2 or 3 corners left between him and Destiny. He's gone round the chicane. He's fine. He's going through the final corner now, and there's nothing that can stop him now. And he goes over the line to win the first ever esports race here in ALR. What a race that is.
What a shock as well. Absolute shock. Viking Dog coming in 3rd for Project Platypus. That's going to be some strong points. I'm going to do a quick point tally right now, actually, whilst these drivers cross the line. Actually, he's still not crossed the line.
And Hammond is going to let Wesley by for some godforsaken reason. It doesn't change.
No, it doesn't matter anything because it's a team game.
It doesn't change the scoreline, Wesley and Hammers, but sure, each to their own. Viking will sit on the final step of the podium. Wesley gets 4th, Hammers 5th, Peachy 6th, Andrew 7th, Slim's 8th, Pumpkin gets 9th, Street Fighter gets 10th, Snipes is facing the wrong way, and in comes
not
Paul,
on the last corner.
He's going to try and do his best Lightning McQueen impression here by the looks of things.
What's going on?
I don't know, but here comes CO2!
Well, they need to hurry up because they're going to get overtaken.
CO2!
Snipes isn't going to do it, he's going to get overtaken right at the line. What a disaster. What was that? So CO2 managed to go from 15th to 12th at the end, partly because of whatever the hell that was. Who is in P15, Pyro?
BX.
Oh, what? What happened? Let's get these results up. I think Javi got the fastest lap and Viking got pole.
I'd be very surprised if Javi did not get said fastest lap. Yes, Javi did get said fastest lap.
Okay, so we got Peachy in P6. We've got Andrew with a hard D in P7. Slim is in 8th. And then go on to the next stream. The next page. Pumpkin in 9th. So he was the highest Pegasus. And then Street Fighter in 10th for Pegasus. So, for the points, in 5th place at the moment we've got Pegasus. They have 16. 4th place we've got V2 on 20. 3rd place is ESP with 38. And we've got in joint 1st place with 47 points, Arix and Project Platypus.
Wax saying if we count in the first half of the race, Viking had fastest lap.
Viking had fastest lap. But if it was faster than Javi's, then he gets it.
We'll have to wait.
Okay, so that changes the standings slightly. That puts Project Platypus 2 points ahead of Arix.
Instead of level. Oh.
Instead of level. So 48 Platypus, 46 Arix.
We'll have to double check that.
And 38 ESP.
58 too, which would be the case, yeah.
And this was a 58-4, so yeah, it would go to Viking technically.
We'll do a double check on that.
It does definitely count, yeah. But if that's, assuming that's correct, then a slight advantage, despite what happened with BX, I've got absolutely no idea. Well, actually I do. He had completely red rear tyres, that's what happens. So, unfortunate for him, but he does contribute 1 point, which is quite precious, because there's only a 2 point gap between them at the moment.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot. This is going to be one hell of a season, isn't it? Arix and
it really is. It really is.
Back and forth the entire way, and we're going to be here the entire season, hopefully, with a PS5 that doesn't short circuit every 5
Pyro's
seconds.
not hosting anymore, ever again in ALR. Full stop.
Oh, God.
So that'll sort that issue out. We won't have that problem again.
and make
It
sure
wasn't my internet for the 100th time.
I'm only allowed to host post September, and then stop again. Then stop again in March.
I don't know. I just don't want to risk it, man.
It's the only time it does it. It's simply overheating. I know what caused it, and I know why it hasn't done it
The
again.
heat, yeah, the heat.
I know what
man.
caused. I didn't have everything open, which is usually what I do.
Uh,
I know what caused it. It ain't happening again. But yeah. Wow, a lot of things changed. I'm gonna get slandered to high heaven.
to be honest, I don't think you will, because that race result, I think it was a lot closer than it would have been otherwise. Because without the restart, Viking wouldn't have dropped to third. Without the restart, BX wouldn't have dropped to last place. So the advantage for Project Platypus would probably have been bigger without that restart. And because of it, it's allowed ESP especially to storm through. Wesley from 10th on the restart to 4th. I don't think he'd have finished 4th without that.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Wesley is definitely the biggest winner of all this.
Yeah, and it let CO2, who was like a minute back on the previous race, he finished 12th. So
he could have had a lot more if it wasn't for the couple of mistakes there. He could have had, quite a ton more, actually.
yeah.
That's
Right, so I guess that's it.
One hell of a start. Well, we've got 7 more weeks of that, which is entirely. It's going to be entirely interesting the entire way, and
You know what? That was so enjoyable, to be honest. Despite the chaos, that was a really good opening round, I think.
This is going to be significantly more fun for us to commentate than to actually race without it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That is incredible. So it's a three-way fight off the first race, realistically. Damn, incredible start. I appreciate everyone who joined us. We had like 32 people concurrently at one point.
It was good. We lost a few people with the restart.
just slightly. Not my fault
but that's
at
fine.
all in the slightest.
We can't control everything. We can't control the weather. We can't control
my PS5 apparently.
The PS5. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun just being here with you guys, and provided Ross isn't racing next week, we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
But yeah, in a bit.